Shalom, brothers and sisters. This is Brother Malak from the 12 tribes of Israel. Let's go to Proverbs 31, 31st chapter. We're going to read about the virtuous woman. And this is a woman that every brother should pray for, not just any woman. So we're going to go from Proverbs 31 and 10, and we're going to read the rest of the chapter, which is 31. It says, who can find a virtuous woman? When it says who can find a virtuous woman, it's asking a question. All right, and when it says find one, means the Most High gave you one. Not go out looking for a woman. For her price is far above rubies. So a virtuous woman is basically worth more than rubies. And bring up to modern time, let's say gold and silver and platinum and diamonds. It shows you how much a virtuous woman is worth. Check this out, 31 and 11. The heart of a husband does safely trust in her. So this is a woman that you can trust. All right, how many women can you trust today? How many women can you trust with your, with your children, with your riches, with your money? You marry a woman today, a few years later, now she want to take half your money. How many women you could trust that when you at work, she's not at home laying down with another man? So a virtuous woman is going to be trusted. So when you sisters have a husband and he doesn't seem to trust you, you're not a virtuous woman. That's basically what they're saying. If you was a virtuous woman, he would trust you. He wouldn't be questioned every 5 minutes. Are you doing something? Are you trying to hurt him in some way or fashion? All right. So check your spirits when a man comes to a sister and says, I don't believe that's my child. I need a DNA test. That's because you're not a virtuous woman. You created that by your actions. All right. It says, there's a reason why certain men don't trust certain women, because they're not virtuous. They have proven themselves over and over again not to be virtuous. If you're a virtuous woman, you're going to be trusted. He's not going to be asking questions, is that his child? Or, he's not going to be asking for no prenup because he think you got to take half his money. And I'm going to tell you, brothers, if you feel that way and you don't trust that woman, you don't need to be with that person. All right? Don't marry nobody you don't trust. That doesn't make any sense. Here it is, you deal with a woman, and then you turn around and you don't trust her. Why'd you be with her in the first place? All right? Check your spirits, brothers and sisters. All right? This is very important. This is one of the most important parts of the virtuous woman. So that he have no need of spoil. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. So a virtuous woman would do her woman what? Good. Never evil all the days of her life. So as long as he's married to that woman till she die, she's going to do him what? Good, not evil. All right? Not what I mean by evil. Basically, she's not going to try to harm him or try to hurt him. Physically, mentally, spiritually. She's not going to do anything against him. She's going to work with him and do him good. All right? This is a virtuous woman. And brothers, before you marry any sister, make sure she fits these qualities. Make sure she fits them. Teach her about this. All right? Teach her about a virtuous woman. She seeketh wool, meaning she looks for wool. Where does wool come from? It comes from sheep. That's where wool comes from. So she's looking for wool and flax, with another type of clothing material, and worketh willingly with her hands. So here it is, she knows how to make clothing. Any type of clothing, whether it be fringes, whether it be just clothing in general. So she works with her hands. This also shows you, like today's the Sabbath, we're not to do these type of things on the Sabbath because the scriptures say work. So a virtuous woman will what? Will work, not sit on her behind all day and sit home and watch soap operas and drink and eat. No, a virtuous woman also works. All right, she's not lazy. She is like the merchant ship She bringeth her food from afar. So she brings food to at home to the table. All right. Obviously, we know that man is supposed to work and provide, but the virtuous woman will help that man provide. Will bring things to the table, not sit at home and expect the man to do everything. That's not according to the scriptures. Scriptures don't tell no woman to sit home and be barefoot and pregnant. That's not in the Bible. All right. A virtuous woman does things too. She's not the husband, she's not the head, but she does things to help her family. She rises also while it is yet night, and giveth meat to her household, and a portion to her maidens. So basically, it's telling you, even when it's nighttime, sometimes she gets up and brings meat to her house. So a virtuous woman helps her husband, all right, provide for the family. All right, she don't just sit around and do nothing. She considers a field and buyeth it. So wait a minute. So here it is, a woman see a field to what? To have animals, to have crops, and she buy it. It shows you once again a virtuous woman does work. All right, don't let nobody tell you, that a woman can't work, can't have a job, can't have a business. That's not in the Bible. All right, that's not in the Bible. Right, you're thinking of 100 years ago in America where women didn't work, and a man brought all the food home, and the woman just sat on her behind. All right. Of course, her cleaning the house and taking care of the kids is also work. But a woman can have a job. A woman can have a business. All right, and bring it home to her. Help build her house along with her husband. All right. Don't let nobody tell you different. The scriptures don't say that. The scriptures don't say a woman can't have a job or work just like a man. That's not in the Bible. But make sure it's what? Make sure it's woman's work, meaning a job that a woman would have, not a police officer or security guard. These are jobs for men. All right? A woman could plant a field. A woman could clean houses. There's jobs that women can do. All right? Like I said once again, the man always takes care of the house, and the man is the head of the house. But a woman can have a job. A woman can work, according to the Bible, to help support her family. All right? Especially today. We live in 2017. I live in New York City, where a one-bedroom costs well over $1,000 a month. And if you want a big apartment with 2-3 bedrooms, you end up paying $2,000-$3,000 a month. You buy a house, forget about it, $200,000-$300,000. All right. So this is the time period we living in that sometimes a man and his wife have to work in order to pay the bills. Doesn't take nothing away from the man. All right. Doesn't take anything away from what the man is. Nowadays, they got to split the bills through the middle. It does not take away from what the man is. I don't care how much money a woman makes, your husband is still your head, even if you make more than he does. All right? A virtuous woman does not think like these independent women. All right? You still need a husband. All right? You have children, you definitely need a husband. All right? Preferably the man who gave you those children. But if he's dead, then you could marry again because your husband is dead. You do need a husband. You do need somebody to help you with, your children, and you'll help each other out. All right? It's not 50-50. It's 100-100. 100% of what the woman brings to the table and 100% of what the man brings to the table. But the one who has the headship and the final say-so is the man. All right? Straight up. It says, with the fruit of her hands, she planteth a vineyard. So here it is, she bought a field. She considered a field. She saw a field. She saw some land, and she bought it. And what she do? She planted a vineyard, meaning planted crops, planted fruit, vegetables. There's something that she could be doing while her, let's say her husband's at work. Sooner or later, you get a big enough field, you get enough vegetables and animals and so forth and so on. Her and her husband could what? Start a business, selling fruits, selling vegetables, selling animals. And they don't have to go work for this system. All right? There's still rules and regulations for them to sell and do things. All right? Because we still in this system. But they don't have to go work a regular job anymore. Once they get that field up and running. She girdeth her loins with strength, and strengthened her arms. She perceiveth that her merchandise is good. What is that merchandise? Anything that she's selling. Her candle goeth out by night. She layeth her hands to the spindle. What's the spindle? Like when we mentioned earlier about wool and flax. So a virtuous woman, what? One of the things she would do is what? Make garments, clothing, and what? And sell them. If somebody's poor, you might give them something. If you have any leftovers or so forth and so on. In her hands holdeth the staff. She protecteth, she stretches out her hand to the poor. See, I just mentioned this. So here it is, you got poor among our people. You got to help them out according to the law. Yes, she reaches forth her hands to the needy. The needy is also the poor. So this is a virtuous woman. This is the type of wife that every man should desire. She is not afraid of the snow for her household. So here it is, it's snowing outside. She's not afraid of the snow. She'll go out and still do her work. For all her household are clothed with scarlet. She maketh herself coverings of tapestry. Her clothing is silk and purple. All right, just going into clothing. Silk clothing and purple. Purple's a royal color. All right. Her husband is known in the gates. So here it is, her husband. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows who her husband is. Everybody knows her husband has a what? A virtuous woman. You don't want everybody to know that. You men don't want everyone to know that your wife is wicked. You want everybody to know, look, this brother has a virtuous woman. He has a righteous wife. When it says the gates, it's talking about among the elders. He himself might be an elder. And when he sitteth among the elders of the land. See? Before I could even say it, the scripture is already there. She maketh fine linen and selleth it. Here it is again. She maketh linen, fine linen, and what? Sell it. This is one of the ways she brings money to the household. And delivereth girdles unto the merchant. Strength and honor are her clothing. So she's going to have regular clothes on. Scriptures give a woman a dress code, a man a dress code. But also she's clothed with what? Strength and honor, meaning she has strength and honor in her, not dishonor. And she shall rejoice in time to come. She openeth her mouth with wisdom, and in her tongue is the law of kindness. So here it is, when you hear this woman speak, she speaks with what? Wisdom, knowledge, understanding. She's a kind woman. This is a virtuous woman, not the woman that you have today, that when they open their mouth, they talk foolishness, cursing, and so forth and so on. All right? Ratchetness, ghetto-ness. The virtuous woman, her mouth is what? Wisdom. So it shows you that a woman could what? Have wisdom. You got certain Israelites out here teaching that a woman is stupid and she can't have wisdom, and wisdom wasn't given to her. It's not according to the scriptures. This is King Solomon speaking. All right, this is King Solomon speaking. The man who the Most High gave much wisdom to. More than any other man on this earth. All right? Except only one man on this earth that had more wisdom than him, and that was Christ. The Son of the Most High, the prophesied Messiah, according to the Bible. She looketh well to the ways of her household. So here it is, she look after her household. Here it is, she has the children at home, and she's looking after them. And eateth not the bread of idleness. So she's not a woman that just sits home and doesn't do anything. Her children arise up and call her blessed. So even her children will say their mother is blessed. Her husband also, and he praises her. So here it is, her husband also praise that woman. Not praise her as she's a god. Not call her, not say the black woman is God. We're not talking about that. But here it is, her children, her whole family looks at her and say, this is a righteous woman. That's what that means. Many daughters have done virtuously. See? A lot of times you hear that you have a lot of wicked women. The scriptures tell you what? A lot of women we had a lot of virtuous women. But thou excellest them all. So here it is, a virtuous woman. A man would say, you have a lot of good women out here, a lot of virtuous women. But you're better. You excel all those women. Favor is deceitful, and beauty is vain. All right. So a lot of times we look for a woman that's beautiful, but we want a virtuous woman. She could be beautiful and virtuous. But a woman that feareth the Lord, she shall be praised. So if a woman fears the Most High, meaning keep the commandments, she's going to be what? Going to be praised. I'm going to say shalom, brothers and sisters. This is Brother Malak from the 12 Tribes United. Shalom.